Hello and welcome once again to Jacob's Toys 5 minute figure reviews. Please do like, share, subscribe and all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. We're taking a look at the Spider-Man retro style wave. Now these particular figures are in the Spider-Man retro style packaging, and this particular figure is the Rose. Marvel's The Rose. So who is the Rose? Let's get into that, but let's take a look at the figure out of the box. I must admit I really like the sculpting on this one. It looks pretty cool. There's two guns that come with him, which again are very cool. Now we've had these pair of guns with a number of different figures before, but annoyingly they don't match, if that makes sense. And he comes with two alternate hands, one pointing finger hand and one gun holding hand. Now straight away I do see a problem. We've got two guns, we've got one hand that can hold them, and of course he comes with a Rose prop, so that's pretty cool. He's pinless, which is really nice. He's got a nice pinless white suit, and the head sculpt is really quite cool. Now let's just pop these hands off and let's just move him around and kind of give him a pointing finger and a gun to hold as well. But who is the Rose? So the Rose is a number of different people. He's essentially a kind of a criminal boss, the criminal underworld boss, but he's not like the top. The first version of the Rose, funnily enough, was Richard Fisk, who is Wilson Fisk's son, and he created the Rose, actually called himself the Blood Rose, and became like this kind of vigilante to try to overthrow the Kingpin, but yeah, it just didn't really work. But I think that's who I'm going to pretend that this version is. I think I'm going to pretend that it's Richard Fisk. As you can see there, you can only put one gun in his hand, which is really annoying, or you can just have him holding the Rose. So you can't have him with a gun if he's got the Rose, you can't have him with the Rose if he's got a gun, and you can only have one gun at a time. So there's a couple of like design flaws. I think it would have been good to have had two gun holding hands, or at least like a gripping hand, so that you could put the Rose in one hand and then a gun in the other or something, because otherwise you could just do this pose like, hey look, one Rose please. There were other versions of the Rose. One of them was called Jacob, ironically enough, and he was a reporter actually at the Daily Bugle. But yeah, so there was Jacob, no affiliation to me whatsoever, and there was another as well, Sergeant someone. He was a policeman, I think. I can't remember the second one too much. I'm going to have a quick Google and find out about him, but I know that there was definitely more than two. I think there might have been four actually. Yeah, I think there was another one, but I can't remember who that one was. Do let me know in the comments if you can remember who the fourth one is. There was the policeman one, there was the reporter one, there was Kingpin's son, and there was definitely another one. But yeah, so essentially you could pretend that it was any of those. I'm going to go for Richard Fisk just because I think it'd be cool to kind of display him alongside Kingpin and kind of have him in that kind of area of characters. We can kind of put the Rose in his pointing finger like that. That's okay. I mean, the figure itself is designed really nicely, and for any kind of seasoned Marvel Legends collectors, you're definitely going to want to pick him up to add to your villain shelf. But I think for casual collectors or new collectors, you may not go out and pick him up because there's not a huge amount to him. I kind of try to think about playability, if you like, and when I say playability, I mean as in how many displays could he go into, how much kind of action figure photography could he use him in, but I think he's quite limited in that respect. I mean, I'm sure we'll see him in numerous different pictures and stuff, but yeah, he's okay. He's not terrible. They've done a lot with him, and it's really nice to have like a pinless white suit as well, which is quite cool. I suppose what you probably could do with this one is you could pop off the head and put a civilian head with it, and kind of just have a like a mobster kind of character. Yeah, I mean, he's not too bad. I mean, if he ends up in clearance, I'll probably pick a couple up just to kind of create some mobsters or something. Does that Rose fit in there? No, it doesn't fit in the barrel of the gun. That would have been fun, wouldn't it? But yeah, he's alright. He's not too bad. He's nothing special to write home about. I don't think anyone's going to run out to pick this particular one up, but as part of the wave, he is definitely worth having and will be a nice inclusion to the kind of supervillains or villains shelf part of my collection. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe, and all of those things. All support to the channel is always very much appreciated. If you do check out my channel, I do a whole bunch of other 5-minute figure reviews, including the rest of this wave. So yeah, there we go. The Rose. not too bad at all. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you soon.